my name's Sydnie Christmas.
Is it?
Sydnie
Yeah.
Christmas.
That's an unbelievable name. I love that.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's not.
My middle name's worse.
What is it?
Mary.
On June 2nd, 2024, a voice that sounded both timeless and brand new filled the Avantim Apollo and carried into millions of UK living rooms. Sydnie Christmas, tears streaming down her face as confetti poured from the ceiling, was crowned the champion of Britain's Got Talent. It was the peak of a lifelong dream, a pure moment of victory for the Gravesend-born singer who had almost walked away from show business for good. Along with her trophy, she took home a $250,000 prize and a spot on the legendary Royal Variety stage, a storybook ending in front of the cameras. For Sydnie, it seemed like the reward for years of chasing stardom. But winning was just the beginning. What happens when a dream finally collides with reality? For Sydnie, the hardest battle started once she left that stage. Fame brings open doors, but also pressure, intense judgment, and uncertainty you never see on screen. Her journey soon showed the world that the spotlight doesn't always promise an easy path. This is what really happened. Once the applause stopped and the cameras shut off, there was only silence. Long before the golden buzzer and the standing ovations, Sydnie was quietly struggling. Her road to Britain's Got Talent wasn't spontaneous. It was, as she described, her last chance saloon. For nearly a decade since graduating from the D&B Academy of Performing Arts, she had been grinding in an industry built on rejection. She sang on cruise ships in productions like Grease, played in the off-West End show Lazarus, and even starred in a German run of Starlight Express. Yet the breakthrough that could cover bills and put her name on marquees never came. Life in London with her partner meant endless side jobs, including hours at a local gym, just to stay afloat. The West End dream was slipping further away. A decade of no had left her exhausted and ready to quit. In fact, she began retraining as a personal trainer, starting her Level 3 qualification for something stable. Just before she committed to a full career change, she made one last push. Sydnie had applied to BGT 4 times before, but always backed out from fear. This time she was ready to let go and give it one final try. Then came the email, an invitation to audition. When she stepped onto that stage, the audience didn't know her name. Then she sang Tomorrow from Annie, and everything shifted. Her voice, rich with emotion, left the judges and the crowd stunned. Amanda Holden, visibly in tears, slammed the golden buzzer, sending her straight into the semifinals. That audition wasn't just a performance, it was Sydnie's life poured into music. And instantly, the public felt her story. But victory didn't come smoothly. Just days before the finals, Sydnie got sick and lost her voice completely. The nightmare of any singer. She admitted on Instagram that she was unwell, staring down the possibility of losing her biggest moment. Yet she refused to back down. In the semifinals, she performed a bold big band rendition of Frank Sinatra's My Way, a defiant choice that sent her to the grand finale. For her last performance, she sang Over the Rainbow, a soaring ballad overflowing with hope. The control and emotion in her voice silenced any doubt. When the votes were counted, Sydnie claimed 27.2% of the public's choice, making her the clear winner. At that moment, 10 years of struggle, side jobs, and heartbreak finally melted away. She wasn't the girl at the gym anymore. She was Britain's champion. Winning Britain's Got Talent is like being strapped to a rocket. The whirlwind begins immediately. Press tours, morning shows, and the strange new world of overnight fame. Sydnie's prize came with a promise, to perform at the historic Royal Variety Show. On November 22nd, 2024, she stood on the stage of the Royal Albert Hall before King Charles. On Instagram, she called it mind-blowing, nerve-wracking pinch me. This can't be real. But instead of revisiting Tomorrow or Over the Rainbow, she shocked viewers with a fierce cover of Imagine Dragons' Believer. It was a bold move. Some praised her for the risk, while others questioned the choice. Later, Sydnie revealed it wasn't for the critics. It was for little Sid, the dreamer inside her who never quit. It was her way of showing that fighting for dreams matters most. Introduced by Amanda Holden, the performance stood as Sydnie's first true statement as a recording artist, unafraid to take chances. After Royal Variety, the demands only grew. Sydnie appeared on shows like This Morning, often breaking down in gratitude as she described her overnight transformation. Still, she made sure to stay grounded. She admitted she could still ride the bus in a hoodie and remain unnoticed. And this balance between stardom and normalcy kept her sane in those chaotic months. Behind the scenes, pressure was mounting. Talent show winners are pushed to release music fast, while public interest is still high. Sydnie raced to complete her debut album in just 3 weeks, calling it a brutal learning curve. On September 20th, 2024, she released My Way, an 11-track album filled with her signature BGT songs. A highlight came when Andrew Lloyd Webber saw her sing Starlight Express on Instagram and urged her to record it officially. To her, the song symbolized hope, making it a perfect fit. The album shot to #1 on the UK iTunes chart, confirming her voice had true staying power. Behind the music, Sydnie carried another story, years of chronic pain and mental health battles. For a decade, she fought unexplained fatigue, anxiety, depression, and mind fog. Doctors couldn't figure it out. A vegan diet in 2018 only made things worse. Finally, in 2021, a doctor suggested gluten intolerance. Within 2 weeks of cutting it out, she said her life completely changed. The pain stopped, her energy came back, and she came off antidepressants. Sydnie has since been outspoken about mental health and chronic illness, using her platform to tell fans that therapy, honesty, and trusted friends saved her. Even with national fame, she admitted to facing panic, self-doubt, and pressure. But resilience, sharpened over years of setbacks, became her greatest strength. Sydnie's heart still belonged to the theater. During Christmas 2024, she starred as the fairy godmother in Cinderella at Dartford, proving live audiences still fueled her. At the same time, she shocked fans by returning to complete her personal training certification. She said, "It'll do my head in if I don't finish it." It showed that she valued stability just as much as fame. Her personal life grounded her too. With her partner, Max Rizzo, also a performer, she found understanding and support in the chaos of showbiz. She's shared hopes of one day starting a family, showing she values a normal future alongside her career. By 2025, her My Way tour was in full swing, filling venues like London's Aldwych Theatre and Birmingham Symphony Hall. At her London show, she stunned the crowd by bringing out Lauren Allred for their first live duet of Over the Rainbow. She also invited her old performing arts school's choir to join her on stage, a touching full-circle moment. The tour's success led to a second UK run, and even shows booked in New York. Sydnie, once on the brink of quitting, was now a global performer. As of mid-2025, Sydnie Christmas is no longer just a Britain's Got Talent winner. She is an artist, an advocate, and a force in entertainment. Her first album may have been filled with covers, but now she's reportedly crafting a second record of original material blending soul, pop, and big band. Insiders whisper about a possible TV special or documentary capturing her meteoric rise. In summer 2025, she was confirmed to star as Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians, the musical. A concert planned for London was even moved to a bigger theater and set to be filmed for U.S. release, signaling her growing international pull. But beyond the spotlight, Sydnie is building a legacy of authenticity. By opening up about her struggles with anxiety, depression, and chronic illness, she has helped destigmatize these issues, reminding millions that it's okay to not be okay.